Electrocuted.
God good, eh? God good. God good. How can we not serve him? He's good. He's a wonderful God, a miraculous God. So this young man here, he worked with a light company and he got electrocuted. And by the grace of God, he's here to tell his testimony, because who could it be but God? Who could it be but God? And I'm so happy this young man made it out alive and can stand up and give his testimony to let people know that God is still alive and he's working. He's still alive and he's working. He's a miracle working God. Trust in him, have faith in him, call upon him. Whatever your situation is, call upon him. And him never turn him back by you. Can promise not to give him more than what you can bear, because we serve a living God. Trust me. And I'm a living testimony to that also. So guys, I'm gonna make you go over and listen to what this young man has to say, because he's been there. He's been there and he been there and he get through it all. So guys, remember, before I leave, after I watch the show, please comment down below, let me know what you think about this. And also remember to share my video out and like my video out, put on your post notifications so you know each time I upload a video. So let's go over and listen to what this young man have to say. God is good. All I can tell you, he's good.
Receiving severe first-degree burns on both hands and feet. He was not expected to make it, but God. This is the miraculous story of Brother Andre Richards. His testimony coming soon.
Let's bless the Lord, everybody. Let's bless the Lord, everybody. I have to be multitasking, so I ask that you see with me. But as you look at the screen, what you're seeing here are just some photos of our dear brother Andre. And yes, he is pretty emotional right now, which is understandable, quite understandable. But the purpose of this today, it was birthed out of some experiences that I've had. All right, let me just change my position. God bless you, everybody. Let me just say thanks to everyone who is here today. Today it's a little bit different. We don't want to be so predictable. Amen. And so today, this is the message. Amen, amen, amen. So as some of you would understand, it was maybe, I think maybe in February, January, February, thereabout, the Lord really inspired me to actually do this, which I'm about to do now. We visited Brother Andre some time ago, and I told him that this is what we're going to be doing. And the thing is, since for years, I've been saying this thing, that we highlight death more than we do life. I know many of us might be saying, no, but no, we get up every day and we say, up and thankful. Praise God. But in reality, we highlight death more than we highlight life. Let me give examples. When somebody dies, people have memorials. Every year, they highlight the individual and what they have done. Sometimes they would name a trust or a fund or a classroom or a building or a street after a person who have died, so that the person's memory will live on. Now, none of you in here, I'm certain, maybe probably Sister Walker, knows Bob Marley in person. None of you. He died long before a lot of you were born. But he's one of the most famous Jamaicans to date, even more famous than Usain Bolt, who is alive. So the thing is, when somebody has a close encounter with death, we talk about it for a while, and then it's as if nothing happened. So we have a memorial to highlight the person's death, but then we don't have a memorial to commemorate God's mercy upon an individual. And so, as we have done with the scattering roses, which we try to get people to highlight and let people know while they're alive that you appreciate them, we also want to put a focus on the fact of God's grace when somebody survives. When somebody survives. Amen. Whenever somebody meets in an accident, we have this tendency, because they didn't lose a foot, they didn't lose a hand, you know, because they didn't come and say, Stains, I have no head, but I give God thanks. We tend to not pay enough emphasis on the fact that this person could not have been here. It could have been possible that they were not here, but the mercy of God allowed them to be here. So guess what? Just as we don't emphasize about them being dead, big up God when they're alive. So, with that being said, I want to just have a little talk with a survivor. I want to just have a talk with a living testimony. And so, today we're not here talking about, you know, Sister Gideon's husband who had passed. Since I'm trying to bring you up to speed, I want you to understand that this could have been a memorial. That's why I want to big up God. Reason being, a lot of you would have been sad. A lot of you would have been wiping tears from her eyes. A lot of you would have been giving her gift baskets and all type of things that don't make no sense because her husband gone. But he's here. He's here. And so today, Brother Andre, I want to say to you, my brother, welcome. I can actually say to you, and you can hear he actually touch mic, I beat mic. So he's here. I want you, as you know, you're able to walk us through that day. What led up to that experience that you've had? Just give us an idea of what took place and, you know, what was happening during that period of time.
Firstly, I want to say, bless you, saints. Bless you all. And I want you to accept greetings from an almost dead man.
Oh.
Not many times things like this will happen, so accept it now.
Yes.
Right? I want to say, bless you, my pastor, and your wife, and to everybody in their respective places, officers. And even though I woke up with you this morning, you're in the same bed with me.
Speaking of his wife, in case you don't get it yet.
I'm getting to it. Accept greetings to my hand and foot and my everything. To my wife, a beautiful wife. As many of you know, I'm a painter by profession, artist, right?
I think that is an understatement. No, we won't accept that. He's one of the best artists in Western Jamaica. Let's not cap it. Let's not get this thing twisted. But painter, artist. Go ahead.
All right, self-praise. All right, thank you very much, brother. Yes, and doing my job, I always do my job professionally and, you know, do it to the best of my ability. So I am recognized heavily. Country-wise, as my pastor said. leading up to this day, this terrible day, and it's also a blessed day too for me. We were going through some stuff, my wife and I would say, like a month ago, and you know, we decided that we are gonna pray about whatever situation we have going on, whatever it is. We cannot change it personally. We only can rely on God to do that for us. So we decided we're gonna pray and we're gonna fast and to help to make some changes. And we were doing that. And changes were making. We realized a lot of things were changing, not just for our marriage, but financially things were, stepping up too. Yes. So I've been getting jobs leading up to December. And, it's just a blessing, I would say. It's a blessing having things done and, seeing the changes. So, when God at work, other people always they try to do them thing. And we know who we are talking about, the devil. All right. So I get this job to paint this building, a 3-story building, and I was there painting, and there's a particular part on the building that I have to do in the night because of traffic and people and cars, etc. So I went there about sometime after 7, going up to 8 o'clock. And while I was on the balcony of the 3-story building, I was on the balcony painting. The roller stick that I was using is made of metal. And I was painting using the stick, rolling, and there was this high tension wire above me, but I did not see it. I did not see it. And the end of the stick just barely brushed the wire. I felt like somebody used a light post and just licked me with it. That's how I felt. This regular plug is like 110 and 220 voltage. That high tension wire is like 13,000 voltage and upwards. So just imagine what run through my body. When I felt that, it's like I was gone for a few seconds. It's just numb, darkness on top of darkness. And when I come back to myself, I just felt myself floating, like I felt light, very light. Like when you hit a balloon up in the air and it just take time to come down. So that's how I felt, slowly going down off the building. And all I could say is, God, please don't let this be it for me. Lord, please, like I was falling and I'm saying that to God. I'm saying, God, please don't let this be it for me. I don't want to die like this. And 2 persons flashed through my mind. Only 2 persons that flashed through my mind. And that's my wife and my daughter. Because I know that I'm supposed to be there for them. Not just as a husband, but as a father, as a provider. I'm supposed to be there for them. And that's the reason why they just run through my mind. And I felt myself going down slowly and thankfully. I mean, it has to be God. It has to be God that was, carrying me. And there was some cable wire that ran across in front of the building. And I hung over the cards. If it wasn't for those cards, then it would be death because I reached the ground. It would be death or I would have just done vegetable. And when I was there hanging over the wire, it's like all my feelings, like I can't feel nothing in my hands, my feet, me just can't feel nothing at all. My whole body just dead. So I can't move even to help myself. And I could hear everything that was going on around me. I could see, I could hear, and I could talk. But I just didn't have no feelings whatsoever. And I hear people saying, painter, you all right? Artist, what going to do? And I say, I can't move. And one of the men in rush, and me say some other people rush, like the other workers in the building, they rush and then they come up to the to the second floor and they were trying to help me. Some of them, they were afraid. They were afraid because they thought the wire that I was on, it had current in it, but it was cable wire. So they were afraid, but you know, as I say, I could talk. And I said to them, you know, you can't take me down, man. You don't have no current tonight. Because I cannot move. So, you know, they were doing all their best and, you know, they put the leather on the light post and they try and they flip me over. And some of them catch me and then, you know, they rush me. They put me on a plyboard and they rush me downstairs and they try to get a vehicle for me. And, you know, this man that carried me to the hospital is like, some of you might know him, Stammer. Him drive mad on the road and him not have no behavior. And up to now, me still say mad because of how he behave, right? But thankfully, he was there at that moment and that time. So, being the mad person that he is, or the mad driver that he is, I am thankful that he was there for me. Because me would have to criticize him, say, boy, that man is mad, in just, you know. But I am now thankful to him because if it wasn't for him, you know, with his mad driving, when him put me in the vehicle and another man come with me and then just drive mad, brought the one way, cuss out the people them that were in front of him, you know, honking hand and do all the madness just to let me reach the hospital in time. I am thankful for that madman. I still describe him as a madman.
Come on, saints, put your hands together. Put your hands together. So obviously there's a lot to unpack from what we just heard. Let me just point something out in case you missed it. So just a few weeks ago, we saw a JPS worker. Those who watch the news listen, who had the same experience. Hello? And a few days after he was taken off that light pole, after he was electrocuted, sadly, he died. Let me put it into perspective. What happened to that JPS worker is what happened to him with that high tension wire.
Same wire.
Now, it was not just the wire. Please bear in mind that the wire that should have electrocuted him and killed him, the plan was such that not only should he have died with the electrical wire, high tension wire, but he should have fallen broken his neck, or found himself in a vegetative state, in a coma. So those wires that were placed there, they were not placed there for decoration.
Amen.
They were placed there by God for our dear brother. So and we heard, this is why we have to be so careful of, you know, how we criticize, because some people's madness will work out for our own benefit. Amen? Because while
Amen to that.
drive mad. There is a method behind his madness. But before we ask you the next question, I want everybody just to praise God for, wait, man, wait, let me tell you who praise God, or what to praise God for now. I want you to praise God for those people. You have to understand that when they saw him, the fear and everything could have caused them to not touch him, and he could have stayed there and died. So I want everybody to give a thunderous praise, applause for those people, every single worker, every single person who assisted in some way, shape, or form. So it leads me now to my next question. After having that experience and obviously going to the hospital, when did you realize how serious this really was? Because obviously you're able to talk, you're able to hear. So, I mean, maybe you didn't quite grasp as well, immediately, the seriousness of it because you're alive. So I want to ask, when did you really grasp the severity of the situation that you were in?
So, being at the hospital, well, I learned so much, When I was there, the doctor, there were different doctors that came around and, do their examination and, write their reports, etc. This particular doctor was saying, he asked me, so he was asking me questions over and over. He asked me, he said, so, Mr. Richards, so, you say you was in a house painting and some wire that run to the house shock you? So I said, no, doctor. I was on a 3-story building painting, and the high tension wire hit me. The doctor said, no.
Hearing from the professional saying.
No high tension wire no lick you. If the high tension wire lick you, the high tension wire what they think about is the three shine wire around way up at top there, so that's the high tension wire. He's saying if that the wire they lick you, you would be dead. You wouldn't dare start talk now. You understand me? Somebody I say, yes, doctor. That's the wire that hit me. The doctor said, no. Let me repeat. If that the wire they lick you, a death. So me keep silent. And why I kept silent? Because I'm going through pain. I feel so much pain because the feelings start coming back in my body now, And the feeling come with pain. I heard females talk about, the monthly pain and, me feel pain too. I felt so many pain that me feel like, say, my body enough for me. And the doctor keep on asking me the question over and over and wanting to write his report.
Not convinced.
And I'm saying, doc, this is what. So I kept silent. And the other doctor was saying to me, Mr. Richards, the doctor have to do his job, so just cooperate and,
Can you imagine? Hold on, Sins. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You're at the hospital and the doctor is telling you, listen, I know more than you. Whatever you say nearly kill you, it could never nearly kill you because you'll be dead. And the man have to be trying to convince the doctor. But then, if you look into it, you can understand why the doctor was doubtful. As bad as it is, you can understand. In the moment you couldn't, but you can understand. The doctor said, hey, that's death right there. So, it's madness you're talking. Go ahead.
Yes, so when the other doctor said, talk to the doctor, man. He have to do him report. So, I turn around and he asked the question again. The same question. So, you were on a house painting and the black and white wire run to the building. I lick you. I said, sir, I'm me the did. I'm me the wire lick. I know which wire lick me. And he said, oh, okay, brother Richards, I understand. And he said, but you know, I said, yes, sir, but a hit lick me. That's the wire that hit me. So he said, all right, and him start writing a report. And he said, brother, you know, you shouldn't be here right now. It is only the mercy of God why you are alive. This is a miracle. It is indeed a miracle why you are alive, because many people go through this and they don't live even to say thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even to say, you know, this is what happened to me. But you lived. It is a miracle. And hearing that from the doctor.
Wow. Wow. Come on. Put your hands together for that, see. You actually answer another question that I wanted to ask, because I wanted to ask, when did you realize that it was actually a miracle? But obviously, hearing the doctor, a medical practitioner, somebody who studies medical science, saying this is outside of medicine. This is outside of reason and logics. The doctor resort to say, Brother Hilton, that this is divine. So therefore, the question was answered. You know, when did you realize that it was a miracle? And you also pointed out a while ago, you know, when did you realize the severity of the situation? Now, I want to find out from you, how has this impacted your life, both negatively and positively? If there's a negative way that it impacted your life, say what it is, and also you can say how. I mean, it seems a bit ridiculous to ask a question like this. How has something like this near-death experience, you know, affect your life positively? However, this is the life of the children of God. So our path is not only one road where we look at negatives,
Amen.
but we see the hand of God. So this is why I asked the question, how has it impacted your life, both positively and negatively? You can go ahead and give your response.
As many people who know me, they know that I'm a hard-working person.
Yeah.
And I don't like staying home.
Yeah.
Yeah, look for me.
Yeah.
I don't like staying home. My wife knows that. And, you know, during my work, my wife always say, you know, you can take a break, you know. Stay home 2 days or so. But even when I stay home for the 2 days, it's like I'm still not, you know, resting. Because it's just how my body built up and how my mindset. I'm always working. So I find something around the house to do. So negatively,
Good man, that.
I wasn't able to work for what? Almost 4 months now. You must know how that feels. Me miserable.
Yeah.
Me torment.
Yeah.
Being at the hospital is like me just want to come out.
Yeah.
But me know say me have to do that for the treatment and etc. 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 Then when me come out and then my heart is like me want to come on road. It's when I sing the song this man about breaking chain.
Yes.
My chain break.
Whoa.
Because I'm able to walk around now. A few months ago, I could not walk from where I walk from there to come here. No. I couldn't even get up off my bed to, you know, walk around, even to go to the bathroom. So negatively, oh gosh, man, you must know that feel as a man. And, you know, my wife have to bathe me, feed me. They do everything for me. Thank God for her.
God.
Many women.
All right, no. We're
All right.
We're
All right, we're not ready for that then.
Save that part.
All right.
Save that part.
So negatively, it's a great impact because I wasn't able to move around and I wasn't able to provide as how I want to. Being a hard-working man, I mean, I like stay home, I like sit down for too long. I just like moving around. doing the things I love, not because wife, alright at home and food not alright at home. It's just me. I like going out, working, and having things, and providing. Make sure it's home alright, pitney alright, wifey alright.
Real man, real man, real man.
Positively, I want to say, many things have happened to me in the past. I've met in car accident, and other things have happened to me. But some people are look at this and say, boy, I'm mad this me a chat. But me know what I say. This is the greatest bad thing that ever happened to me. And why I say that, I learned a lot from this. So many things that I've learned. And if it wasn't for this, my God, I wouldn't know for sure the God that I serve. You understand me? I know I serve a mighty God. So when me healthy and strong, everybody healthy and strong, they go around, they worship, they do everything. But when they are in certain situation, that's the time when you know that God really come through for you.
You see, you kind of spill into another question that I wanted to ask. Since for anyone who knows real men can't content just being at home and not being able to work. One of the first things I asked Sister Gideon when I heard, Saints and stay with me, from I found out that he was alive, the next question that I asked was, where get damaged? Because since I was just concerned about his work hand, because what he has is to me not a gift, not a talent, but a gift. Amen. And so I know that it being that he's not able to function as he would normally was able to do, I know that in itself is like a personal hell. So I kept on asking the question, where, which hand? Because as bad as it is, if I write hand in use, may I be honest, as bad as it is, me ready I be left hand. See something happen. I was just concerned about which hand. And for somebody like him, being at home, and then, I'm not sure if you had the experience wherein you're not content, and it's not that you want to spend time with your wife, but you want to go work. But then, I hope you never offended Sister Gideon and things say, so why weren't you enough? He just said miserable, he just said couldn't be content. Now, overall, since I hope everybody is getting the grasp of what is happening. Bear in mind, again, I want to bring back to your minds, this brother that is here, he's actually here. He's tangible. He's physical. He's here. This is not something we're watching of what took place last year. It is in the present. Everybody still here with me? And we want everybody to understand that we are speaking about the God who is Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi, the protector, the provider, and our healer. Amen? Amen. Now, in terms of, well, you touched it just a while ago somewhat. Has this caused a greater impact in your life in terms of your relationship with God? Has it caused it to, somewhat increase? Do you feel like you have gotten closer to the Lord? Just as we spoke this morning about Joseph, that he had enough reasons to murmur and to complain based on the unfortunate things that were happening to him. However, Joseph gave thanks. So, has this impacted your life in terms of brought you closer to the Lord? Caused you to observe things that you weren't observing? Because sometimes we move into, and the Lord just have a way for us, slow it down. So, has this brought you to a closer relationship with the Lord?
First, I want to say, when you touch that topic, it was, all right, say this happened to me in December, right? And it is the December before that we lost our child.
Yeah.
You understand? We lost our child. And we haven't gotten over that.
No.
And we now get over that.
Yeah.
And to understand that it is this December, then this happened to me. So I could have lost my wife also, December 4.
Yeah.
Not just my child.
Yeah.
And then this year, this December that gone, she could have lost me.
Yeah.
You understand? So thinking about that, I could have cursed God and said, God, this is too much. You're going too bad, man. No, because you take away my pitney, and then look where you make happen to me. Burn up my hand, them, my foot, them, then why may I serve you?
True.
You understand what I'm saying? If I was that type of person,
That's real.
but I kept the faith, and I said, God, there must be something. You kept me for a reason. I have a purpose. It can't be that like you just do this to me and then one next. Must be something greater for me. You understand? So, I've never lost faith. Yes, me cry. And yes, me think about it and say, what next? But I did not lose faith. I kept on believing. And one of the things that I want to point out to you that when one of the time when I was at the hospital and the doctor came around and my wife was there and the doctor used his finger. He said to me, I'm going to press the wound that is on your foot. I'm going to press it and you tell me if you feel it. Remember, bear in mind that when I just got electrocuted, I tell you I don't have no feelings whatsoever. No feelings. Not even on my little finger. No feelings. So the doctor said, I'm going to press your wounds and tell me if you feel it. So I turned my head and I was looking at my wife. When I look at the doctor, I don't want to see him. So he was there and he was doing his thing. Press. I mean, I look at my wife and say, start yet? Just imagine. I don't feel nothing. The wound, the cut and everything, him having finger, the pressing it so. And he said, Brother Richard, Mr. Richards, you feel anything? I say, get it. Him not touch it yet? I look at doctor the day I go so. You understand me?
Let me just say, since the wound itself is not for the faint of heart. If you see it, you probably will faint. I can tell you that plain and straight. I take it from me. If you see both hand and foot, if you don't have a strong mind, strong resistance, you faint. Go ahead.
Amen. Yes, so few days after that, when I was on the ward, the same doctor, he was there. They always do them regular checkup and such like. He came there and he said, Mr. Richards, how are you doing this morning? I'm talking about this particular morning. So he said, what are you doing this morning? And he said, Doctor, I'm feeling pain. So the doctor said, what you say I do? Say I'm feeling pain all over my body. The doctor said, brother, you see in your situation, you should be thankful for pain. In your situation, give thanks to pain. Sorry, this is a mad man. No, I mean, think about it. In reality, I mean, me I feel pain, and the man I go and tell me, say, if he give thanks. No mad man this. Give thanks, me I feel pain. But the doctor remind me of when I was at the emergency room, when he was poking my cut. And I wasn't responding. I wasn't saying nothing. Meaning they feel no pain, they feel not even finger they rub against my foot. So he said, in your situation, you should be thankful for pain. Give thanks so you feel pain. So after that, every time, every day, I go so thank God for pain. All when me I feel pain. And me they go so, I say, thank you, Jesus. You look at it as simply, you know, it sounds funny, but pain will lick me left, right, and center, and me go, so thank you, Jesus. Thank you for pain. Thank you for this pain that I'm feeling, because I'm rather than death.
Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together. We're coming down. I want to ask you to highlight a few persons that you choose who, what you know, you could say really step up to the plate and really, in their own way, showed love. In their own way, showed you love, and I'm giving an opportunity now just to highlight them, excluding your wife. Excluding your wife. So, just highlight other persons that you want.
Why do you want me to exclude you?
Or yourself. We're excluding her from this.
All right.
category.
You know, Brother Wallace and Sister Wallace. They are an amazing couple. And I don't know why God just sends some people at a certain time to just help some other people. And Brother Wallace and Sister Wallace, they have been so good to me. Brother Wallace, every morning that I'm supposed to go clinic, he's there for me. And sometimes he just texts me and say, when I'm supposed to go clinic again. You understand just the level of how he's there for me. Wow. And even when I'm supposed to like walk to the car, I say, hold on for me. And him lead me to the car and say, oh, no, do nothing, you know. Me we do it. He's been a father, he's been a brother, he's been a helper, he's been an angel right there. And his wife has been a nurse, a doctor, she not like certain things, you know. Doctor, a nurse, a surgeon, a counselor. She just did it for me. I mean, things that the doctors and the surgeon were supposed to be doing. She was there at my home.
She come to your house?
She come at my yard.
She come at your yard?
Yes.
Come do it herself? So,
she's my personal doctor, nurse, surgeon. So she take time out of her busy schedule just to come to my house to make sure, dress my wounds, and even bring the stuff that I'm supposed to use. If me did for buy them, there's something them, I would have gone, well, my broke already, well, me not no money. But, you know, me wouldn't find the money, me can't find the money for buy them the things, and she bring it from her workplace just to make sure that I'm okay. The gauze, everything, just to make sure that I'm okay. Days when she's supposed to be at work, she said, work can't stay. Jesus. And she came. So many things to be thankful for. Yes. And there are individuals, even here at this church, that have reached out to me. And I want to thank them. They wish to remain anonymous. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you for not just the physical things, the prayers, the thoughts, because I know many of you want to be there, want to look for me, make sure you say me all right and such like, but you couldn't come. But I just want to say thank you, all, everybody who push out. And I have to say, you know, thanks to my dear pastor, the leader. He's been a good leader, because if he wasn't a good leader, then, you know, the flock couldn't do what they're supposed to do. So, him and his wife. I've been at the hospital, I have some nurses that, you know, them treat me real good. And I know that because of my personality and because of God also, I show them respect. Even when I feel pain, you know, when you're be at the hospital and you say, nurse, nurse, or doctor, doctor, I try to learn their names. I would say, Dr. Brown, Nurse Wallace. You know, Nurse Wallace no per hospital. But just an example. So, because I do that, call them by their name, that shows respect, so they show respect back to me. So, that's something that you should learn too. Right. So, every morning, you know, when they come and, Mr. Richards, how are you this morning? I'm feeling pain, but I'm okay, I'm alive. You know, and they're there for me. Whenever I say, nurse such and such or doctor such and such, they come quickly. I'm thankful for that.
Put your hands together, everybody. So, whatever you take away from this today, I want you to take away that God is a God of favor and mercy. And understand that it's not necessarily anything good that Brother Richards did that caused favor to be upon him. But God gave him favor because there's a purpose on his life. Are you with me, everybody? And listening to what sometimes we take some things for granted. None of this wasn't scheduled in terms of Missionary Wallace coming to testify today. She didn't even know that I was going to put her photos up. She sent them to me and I just put them up. So it's why she was testifying. I put them up. She had no clue. So it wasn't planned. But I want to point out to you that the fact that Missionary Wallace was able today to come and testify about the fact that she could have died. You all need to come and understand what's happening. What she sowed, like Joseph to Potiphar, would have caused her to receive her divine favor and increase in that vehicle that she could be in church today. So this is reminding us why have the opportunity. Do God's work. Do God's business. Be nice to somebody. Don't be an awful person. Don't be a terror. Be good. Before I close this off fully, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I remember on your anniversary, you sent a voice note, which if you did send it to me directly, you could have paid through the system. Anyway, you sent a voice note for your wife that was shared, and you know, persons heard it online, persons in here heard what you had to say. But today, being that you're here in person, because that voice note could have been the last voice note that she have to listen to. But being that you're here today and we can call upon you, I'm going to be giving an opportunity to highlight your wife in terms of what she has done through this period, and also to re-express what you didn't get to say in person in church to her on the anniversary day. So I'm going to ask Sister Gideon to come. Come. Come on, put your hands together for the Richards. Take my seat. It's there for you. The floor is yours, Brother Richards.
Should I say if I ball up here? Some things are emotional, and no care how strong we be as man, you know, we have a little soft spot. And most times it comes from the woman, right? It make we weak from Adam and Eve days. Sister Gideon, I've met you as a friend years ago, and I did not know, I don't know the future. I did not know that, you know, these days would come when you would become my personal hand and foot. We have been through a lot together in our short space of time, short space of marriage. And I know that, you know, for a lot of women, they would have turned and not just walk and run. Truth? Yes. Then say it no, man. Sure. You understand? They would have run because of the situation that I was in and still in. But you have stood by me through thick and through thin. You have been there for me, and you're still here. And I want to thank you personally. I mean, me tell you every day, don't. But just for everybody to hear. Girl, you have been here for me, and I love you. God has placed you in my life for a special reason. Not just to cook, wash, and clean, but to be there mentally, physically, and spiritually for me. Not a lot of men can say this about their women, wife, or girlfriend, but I can say it proudly. You're the best woman that I have ever. I just want to say, I love you dearly. And for all the men that, you know, if you have a good woman in your life, treat her good, take care of her. You might be in a certain situation. It doesn't have to be a situation like mine. It can be worse. It can be better. But whatever it is, if you have a good woman by your side, take care of her. Treat her good. Flood her with gifts. Tell her every day, even if you don't remember, just remind her, say, you know, you're awesome. I trust you, I love you, and you're appreciated. Just let them know that you're appreciated. And it goes for the woman too. Tell your man too. Tell your husband. I am thankful. I'm thankful for you. If it wasn't for you, just want to say thank you.
Stand everywhere, stand everywhere. Come on, stand everywhere. I think that's a good note to end it on. I'm going to disturb you, Brother Hilton. You can remain seated. And also, Sister Hilton, somebody, one of the musicians, who hold the baby. I'm going to ask both of you just to come and pray for this couple. Say a special prayer for them. Somebody worship the Lord.